Hola, and welcome to episode 105 of Word to Your Mama. This is Relatives 21. That is correct. Relatives is a podcast within a podcast. Relatives explores the true story of a first-generation Mexican girl, that's me, Ritzy P, and a black girl, Naisha, meet in South Bay, San Diego, and become relatives. We discuss Black and Brown Unity, hip-hop, overcoming trauma, crazy movie-type moments, navigating life, and so much more. Black and Brown Unity por Vida. So, today's episode, let me just preface it by, we recorded on Dia de los Muertos, Dia de Muertos, and I said, I was trying to say it in English, so I said All Saints Day, but I meant All Souls Day. It's also known as All Saints Day, but, it's more about the All Souls. So I just wanted to preface that. But in this episode, we discuss how the SMB's Black history from a decolonized perspective is affecting his thought process in a real positive way. How motherhood is the best or worst thing that has ever happened to us. Comments from Naisha's sister and brother, uncle, father, you'll understand once she explains that part, regarding their first impressions on us growing up, Naisha and I. And then I talk about my anorexic phase. Yeah, I sure had one. It's all about control, guys. It's all about control. Naisha finding out she's Gullah Geechee. We talk about that. I have a link in the show notes. And that it was when I talk about it in the episode, I just want to say that it was Clarence Thomas, who is also Gullah. And so that follows that story. And then Nye talks about American Beach in Florida, which is a historic African-American owned beach. I also have a link in the show notes for that. And then also how, congrats, no fights this Hallows Eve for Naisha. And we discuss so much more. And don't forget, after that, we will have the Supernatural Bear Corner and an outro. This is November, folks. We have one more month to 2022. And I hope you guys are all doing well. So let's get into this. Excuse me. What up, Bradley?
What's up? What's up? This lovely day. It's hot here in Florida, though. It's hot.
Is it?
Yes, it's like 80 something. A little bit humidity. So yeah.
So today, this won't come out after, but Feliz Dia de Muertos. Today is the day, All Saints Day.
Oh.
Yeah, they all come back today. We have our altar ready. Our pan de muerto just arrived.
Nice.
And we put it at the altar, and today's the day. Yeah.
I need to put that on my calendar. I never know when the day is, and I end up asking one of my
friends. It starts the first, and then today's all the saints. So like every day, different souls come back to earth. And so like one day is like the kids, one day is like kids that died tragically, and then one day is like lost souls, and then today is All Saints Day. So it's like everybody
what
comes.
About pets?
There's a pets too. You could put pets. I don't know if they have a specific day, but we see a lot of altars now with people that have like their pets and stuff. So yeah, maybe next year you can put Hashi on there.
Yes, I need to do my altar. That's funny. I talked to one of my good friends today. She's Mexican, and she didn't even mention it. I'm surprised. I'm gonna have to hit her up.
Mexican.
Later.
I'm just playing. Just
All
playing.
right, girl, you ain't Mexican. You forgot to tell me.
Just play. Not everyone like celebrates it like hardcore, and I think the reason why we're doing it is it's something, a great way for the supernatural spirit to learn.
For sure.
So if you listen to episode 103 with Candy Diaz, Angel Diaz. She's a community leader and expert in Dia de Muertos and altar making. And so she breaks it down. And there's beautiful stories and beautiful, history and how it started, originated, and the little symbolism for all the things. And then the Supernatural Bear Corner, the Supernatural Bear.
Cute.
He talks about, Dia de Muertos. And then, because if you some of you that are listening may or may not know, he's multicultural, multiracial. So when we homeschool, and I talk about a little bit in the episode, but he's taking this amazing class. It's called Black History from a Decolonized Perspective, taught by an amazing Black teacher, Miss Imani. He does it on Sundays. He was a little mad about it because he has to take a class on Sunday, but it was the only day she offered it, so I really wanted it. Because we homeschool, so we doesn't matter, weekends don't matter. Right. So he was like, I was telling about the lost souls. You put a little water out. You put food and candles to light the way, and you put the food, the favorite food of your peoples that you're honoring.
Nice. Or
their favorite things. So like we have pictures of our people's favorite things. Like my mom, like she loved roses and panda bears. So I have a little picture of panda bears and stuff like that. And we put some water for the lost souls and for all the souls that want to come through. They get a little thirsty on their journey. And then
thirsty.
And then I put a little Jameson. We got to have some alcohol, right? Because
that's right.
It's tough being out there in the universe, in the other side. So
yes.
But I was telling him that the water is for lost souls, like lost souls or souls that people don't remember anymore, right? Because they say you die some people say 2 deaths, some people say 3 deaths. You die 2 deaths. When you first die, and then the last time anyone speaks your name. Like when your memory dies. So that's like the final death, right? So that's why Dia de Muertos, these altars, they're so important because it keeps your memory going. And, you talk about those that we lost so that they don't get forgotten. So I was telling about the lost souls in the water. And because he's taking this class and he's like connecting all the dots because, he's Mexican, he's Black, he's Korean, like he's putting it all together. It's a beautiful thing. He came in one morning. He was like, because of the water and the lost souls, he's like, and you die when no one says your name. He's like, this is also for the slaves.
Oh.
He's like, this is for the slaves. And he like in the episode, you have to listen to it. And I was like, yes, mijo, I never thought of that. He goes, this is for the slaves. He's like, because they didn't know their names. They didn't know where they came from. Some of them were born into slavery. He's like, the owners don't care about them. They would die and that would be it. And I was like, you're right, mijo. So this year is for, his ancestors.
For sure.
The slaves. Oh my God. And I was like, that's beautiful.
And this is why we have kids. This is why. Because and this brought me back kind of like a little full circle from me to you, like when you're like, I don't think I'm gonna have kids. But and I used to be like, what? No, you have to have a kid. You have to, like, it changes you. It's hard to tell someone that when they're so stuck on what they want to do or what they.
It's tough, man.
Yes.
No one wants to hear it until you experience it. There's no way to explain this shit.
And I felt it because I was a mom and I knew that you needed to be a mom.
Yeah.
You needed to be a mom because you are me and I am you in so many ways.
Right.
So
relatives.
I knew, like, my girl needs to be a mom, but she's saying all this and that. So when you told me, I was like, yes. And you were like,
I was sad.
You were
crying.
Like, But yeah, so that's that. When you told me that just now, straight took me to this is why you need to be a parent. Well, I don't know about other people, but other people as well. But me thinking about you.
Yeah.
Boom, that was
makes
point
sense.
on.
It makes all the sense because people. I try to explain it to people and I was like, well, there's no way you'll ever understand. I go, I can't, there's no way I could ever do a good job of explaining it because there's no way to explain this shit.
It isn't.
Remember, you were telling me. And then I remember Marie, she's like, I'm going to get you a subscription to Parent Magazine. I was like, for what? Fuck that shit.
No.
And I didn't understand. And I was like, I'm just going to whip him out and I'm just going to be back to, and then I'm all invested. I'm all in. And he makes me want to be like the best person,
right? Yes.
Like you want to be the best you possible,
Mm-hmm.
Like Lauryn Hill says, you inspire me to be the higher me. Excuse.
Preach, girl, preach. Yes, I love
it.
So
yeah, so that's the other artist. I just want to acknowledge it because we're recording on this day. So I don't know what day this drops. But he just turned 10. And it's funny that you bring this up, relative, because my notes say to bring up how he turned 10 and how he's a blessing, that it was an amazing thing that I had him.
Yes.
The best thing that could have happened to me. At the time, I thought it was the worst thing that could have happened to me.
Right.
To keep it real, to keep it 1,000. But it's the best thing that could, because I'm a better person for it.
And a better thinker. You think differently.
Yeah. I think beyond myself, which is something that I needed, you know, and people have pets and it's great. And that's a love. And I understand that, but there's no way of explaining this. And it doesn't have to be where you actually give birth. It's just another little
life,
another life, someone else, you know, so
for sure.
So yeah, so I wanted to talk about, you know, we put a little call to action to our community, our relatives community. And I don't know if you've gotten any, I haven't gotten any fight stories. I'm waiting for those to come in.
No fight stories, no.
Send those in because I want to read some fights.
Yeah.
No bully stories, but people did respond about moded and molded.
Oh.
And so far, a couple of people that responded, it's been moded, full blown, but they're like from LA adjacent areas, West Coast. It's been moded hardcore from our peoples, from our community. They have spoken so far, and it's moded, no L.
Even Drea said moded, no L. And that, I've known her since kindergarten, so
yeah.
I thought it was molded. Molded. I thought it was molded, y'all. That's what I was saying. So I thought everybody was saying that. But okay.
And so what's up on your side? Did you get any audio?
No audio, but definitely full blown notes.
Okay, let's do it.
From two people that we love and appreciate.
Am I going to cry?
Not maybe coming from me. Probably if it came from him.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? You'll laugh for sure. Because, you know, these people, they're Dee and Dewana.
Oh.
My brother-in-law and my sister. But my brother-in-law is more like a father
uncle
to me. Father, uncle, brother. Brother, uncle, father. Like, I don't know how we're going to put it to sound really good, but he's all those things. He's the male figure in my life that made me who I am. So, hey, if
positive
you don't like,
male role model.
Right. And if you don't like me, you don't like him. You know what I'm saying? So watch your mouth. So, yeah, you know, shout out to them for taking time out to discuss this.
No,
you know, my sister, she's very soft spoken, but she speaks up and she was like straight to it. Hey, boom, boom, these are the answers.
No.
But my brother-in-law, my daddy, my uncle.
Let me guess, long-winded?
Notes. I just started with this and then I was like, oh, I gotta get more. So he just like took it full blown, and some of the times when he was speaking, I'm like, oh, I really wish I would have had audio, because you just need to hear like the sincerity in his voice.
I would start crying.
That's when you would have started crying. But you know, us, we're hella goofy. So yeah. So the question I posed to them was, how did my family, how did you guys, speaking to him and her, receive my friends of other nationalities or races? So girl, they were really good. You know, my sister Dewana, she was saying that there was never any discrimination because they're so diverse. And coming from Cali, you know, we live in San Diego, California, growing up, all of us. And actually they lived in New York a little bit growing up. New York City. Because, you know, my dad and the whole acting thing and stage and theater and all that. So they grew up in New York a little bit. But my sister was saying how diverse they are. So they really didn't see color. And she said, I hate to say I didn't see color, because I do see color, but the differences. And because they know me and they know where I come from, they know that I will choose proper people.
I like that.
I love that, right?
Yeah, I love that.
So Dee goes on to say, you know, we don't discriminate until we discriminate. I was weak. I couldn't even write it fast enough. I said, oh, okay. I said, so he's all, when we do discriminate, it's about being on the offense, and it's kind of like a defensive mechanism if they do discriminate. So, you know, and he's from Atlanta. He's from the A.
Yeah.
Born and raised. So again, where he grew up, though, it's going to be mostly black people. But then there it's black and white.
Yeah.
In his time. Now Atlanta's a little different. It's still fairly black, but it's fairly white. But Atlanta per se is black. Georgia as a whole is probably a higher percent of Caucasian.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also us growing up, do you remember what D called us? Our crew? He didn't remember. I can't believe you don't remember.
I don't, but I'm sure as soon as you say it.
So it was myself, black, Marissa, Latina. I had a Yuna. We had our other friend Yuna was Korean, and the other girl, she was black and Japanese. So we were definitely like Benetton colors. We had the shirts, we had the bags, but he would always call us the Rainbow Coalition. Girl, and we were like, what? We like didn't really know. We just knew that. Yeah, we just all knew that we all were different, but we were all like the same in so many ways.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, and they said so many nice, positive things about us. Dee was saying that for myself, and this goes for you too, because at the end he's like, oh, Marissa too, that we're diverse in our appetite of friends.
I like that.
I like that too. I like that. And he says a lot about us that we're diverse because we can easily pull from wherever we are.
That's right.
Doesn't matter. We're going to make it happen. Yeah. We're going to have fun. And it's not even about pulling those people visually that we see are like us or not like us or, that, but it's all about that energy. And we're going to pull people that we're like a magnet to because of the energy.
Yeah, not because of what you look like, where you come from. It's the energy. It's what frequency are you on? Are we on the same frequency?
Yeah.
We're on the dope frequency.
That's what I'm saying. D. Put it on D. You know what I'm saying? And raise it high. And so my sister says, again, San Diego, coming from San Diego, it's a melting pot. So you're going to automatically have friends from another race. Like a lot of my friends in San Diego, it's so funny because we relate to being Mexican.
Right.
A lot of my black friends, I should say.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could be from any walk of life of being black in San Diego, but somewhere in there, you're Mexican.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You know about a bunch of stuff because you're around it. You're surrounded.
So I don't know if you're familiar with D Smoke, the rapper.
Yes. Yeah, he did that dope song.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put a link to that song for sure.
Yes, and he's just flowing in the Spanish, even though he's from LA, I think. But it's that whole vibe. And I have friends or I know people looking kind of gangsta. Next thing you know, they'll be flowing in Spanish. You're like, what? Yep. Oh, just because that's where we grew up, Yep. So they're saying that. They also said that their connection to you was automatic.
No.
Because you are my friend.
Yes.
And it was junior high. Those are like the years, impressionable years. So junior high, then boom, boom, boom. And then as they saw, we kicking it from day one all the way till, so here we are. I love that. D is hilarious. So they said that meeting Marissa was fair and easy.
No.
Right?
I love them.
And they said about us that we never segregated ourselves to a mainstream box with anything. We done. They already know. They know without even knowing.
They've been knowing. That's validation right there. That is validation.
Like they didn't hang with us, but they saw that from what they saw. Yeah.
Wow.
And they're older, mind you. My brother and my brothers, my sister's probably, at least, I think, I'm going to give her some credit.
However old she really is, she looks really good. She looks younger than what she is.
For sure. Because y'all already know black don't crack.
And mad style.
Style out of here. Get out of here with that. Yeah. She has the style for days. Fashionista for sure.
Shoe game on point.
Purse game on point. Everything game. Glasses. She's not missing a beat with nothing.
No.
So she's probably about, I'll say 12 years older than me. And that's a lot when she might be a little bit older than me, but I'm going to say 12.
Yeah.
And that's a lot like growing up because at the end of the day, I ended up being the only child out of five of us. So boom, I'm the only child.
For sure.
So yeah.
I love that, Relly. Thank you so much for doing that. Muchísimas gracias to Dee and Dewana. I love them so much.
Yeah, we love you.
I haven't seen them in a long time, so I hope to see them soon. But, we DM here and there, and Dee sends me random videos and things.
Does he have a nickname for you? I can't remember.
This episode of Word to Your Mama is brought to you by McDonald's, proudly serving communities since 1965. So I think we've all been to birthday parties at McDonald's, if you think about it. Am I right? Especially us Gen Xers. Back in the days, for my experience, we didn't have much. But on the rare occasion, someone in our community or someone from my school would have a birthday party. They would have it at McDonald's. And it would be hella special because we got the little Happy Meal with the gift. But it wasn't our birthday, but we still got a little gift. And all the crew members that worked at McDonald's, it was people that we saw in the neighborhood or even people that we knew. So I think McDonald's crew members might throw more birthday parties than any other employees in the world. And I think that's pretty special when you can see people from your community be a part of it. So yeah, I'm loving it.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Many of us have heard of the devastating passing of Hurricane Fiona through Puerto Rico, but not many of us know of ways, or better yet, trustworthy ways to help and contribute to those in need. Fiona a través de los ojos de los niños is an NFT project featuring art made by children of the nonprofit school Flor de Loto in Ponce, Puerto Rico. Through their drawings, they've expressed their feelings and fears which they went through the hurricane. You can help these children, their school, families, and communities by minting one of their NFTs at helppr.xyz. You can also help by sending crypto directly to their wallet listed on the website or do a donation through PayPal. The links can be found in the description. And to learn more about this initiative and how you can help, please visit helppr.xyz or via Twitter at helpprflm.
Ayuda a tus hijos y estudiantes a llegar más lejos. Aprende más sobre la beca nacional Hacer de McDonald's. Desde 1985, McDonald's ha otorgado más de $33 millones en becas. Gánate una beca de hasta $100,000. McDonald's está dando $500,000 en becas este año. Puedes ganar una de 30 becas. Hoy día, es importante seguir adelante y hacer más. A ayudar a estudiantes hispanos a hacer más que las generaciones anteriores. Hacer más de lo que se creen capaz. Hacer más de lo que pensaban que era posible. Por sí mismos, por su gente, por su cultura, por un mejor futuro. Para más información sobre la beca nacional Hacer de McDonald's, visita mcdonalds.com/hacer. Aprende más.
Festivals, football, flannels. Some say fall is their favorite time of year. And this fall, there are now updated COVID-19 booster shots designed to help protect against COVID-19 variants. If you've had your primary series, schedule an updated COVID-19 booster shot appointment as soon as you're eligible. And don't forget to enjoy the foliage. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Chances are you aren't sharing an epic dinner with your friends right now, but you could be. Just book a seat at a private dining event with your Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Then get to it. A multi-course menu, insane flavors, a wine pairing. Ooh, is that crispy duck? Experience more unforgettable dinners with private dining events from Sapphire Reserve. Chase, make more of what's yours. Learn more at chase.com/Sapphire Reserve.
Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
I don't know. I just always think of him as, Tim's. It was not my nickname for me, but he would just always say, "What you know good."
Hilarious. I thought he called you something, but I can't remember. Where's my girl?
Riz?
My girl. He always says, "Where's my girl? Where's my girl?"
Yeah.
That's how he says to me. And I automatically know he's talking about, "Where's my girl?" But he calls me Bones.
Yeah, he calls you Bones.
But I don't know why. Maybe I used to be really skinny. But I have no clue.
We're speaking of really skinny, and I know I've said this in another, probably one of the early episodes, but I remember I didn't know I was anorexic at the time. Do you remember? I think you might have been gone already. I had gotten into Long Beach State, but I didn't have enough money, so I had to go to San Diego Community College. And I remember I was obsessed, and I was counting calories and not eating. And I think it's because my mom, now that I look back and I psychoanalyze, it's because my mom had cancer and, I wanted some type of control. So I was controlling, but I didn't know what I was doing to myself. Right. And I remember as soon as I got skinny and I started seeing more, my clavicle, yes. I was like, yeah. And I remember I'd be in my underwear and do a squat all the way to the floor to see how much, how skinny I would get. My goal was to squat and not have any rolls.
Oh no.
I was super excited about being skinny, right? Because yes. it was a control thing. So I didn't know so before my realization, I remember it happened in class, in a psychology class. But I went, that's when they lived at that one house that we have pictures of. We went to Girls League or whatever.
Dance, yeah.
And we went to over there and he came out of the house on the side. Remember how you come out on the side? And Dee was he's like, whatever he called me, I forgot what he used to call me. He was like, something. Marissa, he's like, dang. He's like, you're skinny. So what are you doing? Hitting the crack pipe? I remember he was saying how skinny I was. And I remember I was super hyped. I was super excited about it. And I was laughing, no. But inside I was like, oh, awesome. I'm super skinny that he thinks I'm a crackhead.
Oh my goodness.
And I was super excited, but it kind of was what? And then I went to class and it was psychology class at college. And it was a class on eating disorders. And then they talked about anorexia. And I remember it was a movie where, it goes,
I got all tight on you.
Yeah, it all got tight and it zoomed in on you. Because I remember I was in the back of the class and we were watching it on video. So it was on a little TV.
Wow.
And I remember I was like, oh, shit. And I was
me.
and then I was like, Dee said I look like a crackhead and I got height. So, and then I was oh, shit, I'm anorexic. And I was.
Damn. How much do you think that you weighed?
Man. A buck?
Oh, whoa.
Because I was skinny back then anyways, but I got even skinnier and I was smaller, you know what I mean? No kids yet. So it was
all head.
It was all head, man. It was all head.
Girl, what?
I was super skinny. I was super skinny. So I remember that. I always remember Dee saying that. Hitting that crack pipe.
That sounds about
He's like, what you know good? He's like, dang good. I was like, wow. So yeah, so Dee, Duana, I love them so much. They're always family. It's good stuff, man.
Yes. I wish I really could have got my mom, but she was talking a little slow. Next time.
maybe you record it, but you don't play it, but you record it. Just take the cliff notes of what she said. Because I'm really interested, because your mom is very interesting. I've never, still to this day, never She's really quiet. Had a conversation with her.
She's a quiet lady, right?
She's super quiet. And
unless you talk to her.
Yeah, we never like even grown because like also I moved away and that she moved away. So it was never, it'd be interesting to have a conversation. I think I tried to have a conversation, but she'll just kind of like answer.
Done.
Keep moving. Yes.
She does me like that. Like in there, but now too, she's like can't hear. And then she's like, and so it's just a long conversation. Repeat stuff. And I'm just like, okay, we talked. So I like to FaceTime her a lot to get the visual. Yeah, because the visual.
Yeah.
If it's just on the phone,
no, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And I like, we're talking about, I haven't set up the GoFundMe because I feel like we have to do like videos for it, to get people's to understand the vision. But I did put a donate page. There's a donate link for it.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to donate, muchísimas gracias.
Nice.
But since we're on this topic of, reconnecting with the roots and stuff like that, with your mom, especially since she's like losing her hearing and stuff, and you have to FaceTime her, like, have you been able to ask her all the things you want to ask her and, get those stories and that history and stuff like that?
A few things. I mean, so for me, being adopted it's a little different. But on that note, before my biological grandmother passed away, I did, and I'm so mad I didn't take notes. It was because you don't know it. And when I had this conversation with her, it was legit a 3-hour conversation. Good info. But I was driving from Florida to Atlanta. I remember a lot of things she did tell me, but it's different if you had them written down because I need to go to the city. And being that I live East Coast now, it's just such a, like, you can go to all these states. I can probably go to 5 states in one day.
Yeah.
In Cali, it's not happening.
No.
So she was telling me, because they're from Charlotte, North Carolina. I always get it mixed up.
North Carolina.
So that's where my people are from. And I believe we are Geechee Gullah.
Oh, see, I know what that is. Yep.
Like, this knows Geechee Gullah, honey. Like, and I don't know if you ever remember my grandma.
Crazy that you said that, because I just saw something on that and they were talking about the nose. Oh, who's that? That's why I know this. I think Clarence Thomas is Gullah. I think someone like that. Someone that's like against, themselves. And
that part.
That he got bullied and all that. Like, so it all makes sense. It all makes sense. But that he's like, I think it's him or someone recently said that they're Gullah and they were showing the characteristics. And I never noticed that night. Yes.
And this is all, I am my grandmother. I never knew I used to always be like, who do I look like? And whatever. But saw a picture. I was on Instagram on my cousin, because my grandparents raised my little cousin. So she was like, they passed away. And so she had pictures of them. And I was just like scrolling. I was like, I'm looking at heart. Yo, why I thought it was me.
Oh, shit.
Thought it was me real, like, for a hot second. But I was like, I ain't never had that hairstyle. Like, and I'm going to send you the pic. I think I sent you the pic before maybe. But
I want to see.
It's insane. But yeah, I got a chance to speak with my grandma and learned about, like, I don't know if you ever remember speaking with my grandma. She talked so fast. A lot of us didn't understand. And you would have to be like, huh, grandma? What? Like, but it just all comes like full circle. But she didn't know a lot. She knew a little bit, but she didn't know a lot. And, our last names just get slaughtered throughout the way. And with my family, my biological family, my grandmother's mother, so my great grandmother had a last name, but she got married. Of course she had a last name, but she got married.
Yeah.
So she got married after she had my grandmother. So my grandmother, I don't think ever got, or maybe she did get that last name. She got her stepfather's last name. When her real father lived like around the corner, she told me. So being that she got her stepfather's last name, that's the name my family still carries, and everyone, that's my maiden last name. Blood though, like, you know what I'm saying? So it got chopped once my great grandmother married this person and took on his last name. Now all my brothers, sisters, cousins, they all have that last name, which is really no relation by blood.
Oh,
Right?
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't even really know our real last name. My aunts, I'm gonna talk to my aunt so I can see what that is, to see what my grandmother's last name was. It always his last name, or did
what
she
was her
ever?
maiden name? Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So the Gullah Geechee people are descendants of Africans who were enslaved on the rice, indigo, and sea island cotton plantations of the lower Atlantic coast. Many came from rice growing region of West Africa. The nature of their enslavement is an isolation island. Coastal plantations create a unique culture with deep African retentions that are clearly visible in the Gullah Geechee people's distinctive arts, crafts, foodways, music, and language.
Yes.
Gullah Geechee is unique Creole language spoken in coastal areas of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida.
Yep. Just right here near my house, when I drive to a certain beach, there's a lot of beaches here. So when I drive to a certain beach, and I like this one beach because it's called American Beach. You can look that up. And a black man bought property when segregation, so black people can also enjoy the beach during the summer. Oh. And it still exists, and it's super cute and nice. And there's a lot of homeowners, so it's still the little part of land, where the houses are, 86% are still Black African American owners.
So
but of course, some they trying to buy out and
gentrification.
And you can see a little bit of gentrification because new homes, people sold their land. People live in other cities, countries. Oh, that belonged to my great grandmother. I don't have not knowing it's a beachfront property.
Yeah.
Sell it. Then up goes a big old nice brand new architectural type house, but they still have all a lot of the older houses. So it's really interesting. So every time I drive through, if I see anybody outside, I'll stop and talk to them.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, whose house was this? And, I'm from California. I'm just trying to start learning. They love to tell you about it.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's a good feel, too. And I never knew that until I went there one time just solo, not knowing. And when I was there, I was like, the feel, I felt something. The feel was different. I was like, this is a different kind of beach, or it's different. Then I stumbled upon some things to read and everything. Then I went back again with a friend. And she was kind of telling me about it. Then we started talking to people and just learning more about it. Then I looked it up, and it's just so interesting.
American Beach
in Florida. Jackson, I think you could still say it's in Nassau County.
Okay.
So it's in Nassau County. So it's really cool. It's a really cool. And along the way, they just put up signs. Geechee Gullah historical something or other.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's
really
good
cool.
because if it's a historical landmark or historical area, then it's you have to preserve it, and there's certain things you can't do because you're trying to preserve it as a historical area. So that would be great.
So it's really interesting. I feel like I've learned so much living here about my culture.
Yeah.
Than I ever have.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Because you're so I feel like also because you're so close to the origins, right? Like you said, plantations for days, all kinds of things. That's fascinating, man.
Yeah, I was like, when I buy my house, it ain't going to be nothing, because a lot of subdivisions here are something plantation, done plantation, whatever plantation, whatever. I was like, what's the name of this subdivision? Oh, okay, now we rocking with it. I can live it. I'm not living on no nothing plantation. It's hard not to here. It's really hard. It's a lot.
I'm sure.
A lot. So, and North Carolina is not far from here. It's probably 5 hours.
Oh, really?
Or less. Yeah. Yeah. South Carolina. I drive from my house 15 minutes. I'm in Georgia. And then I keep straight on the 95, and Georgia is going to end, and then it's South Carolina.
So how long to South Carolina?
South Carolina, my mom has a sister who lives in South Carolina. It's 4 hours away.
Oh, no way.
And then North Carolina's not that. I know.
Maybe I will come out because I have a friend that moved to South Carolina.
South Carolina, that's super close. So definitely.
Maybe
It's
like Charleston, maybe?
Is that South Carolina? I don't even know.
That's South Carolina.
That's not far. I'm sure it's not.
I'll look it up. We'll discuss.
I want to go there, but I want you to come here too.
No, I want to go there, and then we can go there, you know?
Yes.
And then we could drive up.
And then drive up. You drive down, and I drive up. So, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But, yeah, a lot of history here. A lot of history. All the connections here.
That's awesome. Speaking of connections and speaking of Africa, did you ask your homegirl where she's from?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I haven't.
Okay, for next one.
I definitely will. I forgot. I had it on my mind, too. And I saw her.
I'm super interested because when I first tasted jollof rice, I was like, this is amazing. I want to learn how to make it. And then, I started hearing how it's, a lot of arguments happen because everyone thinks that theirs is the best. So it's interesting
for sure
what your friend's going to say. Because where is she from?
Gambia.
To see, because I know she thinks that theirs is the best jollof. But I want to know who she thinks, if she had to, gun to her head, come up with what country has the second best. That's interesting.
Yes. Like, who is the second best? But hers is good.
Ooh.
Hers is good. I like the way she makes it. She makes a lot of different things. Like, every time I go over, this is my sorel. She made sorel the other day.
Nice.
You know sorel?
Yeah, because we get to drink all that and eat all that stuff in LA where we lived. The farmers market. It was in the Crenshaw Farmers Market
2 days ago.
Oh no! Well, we've been. Oh, it's Jamaicans, Africans, everybody. Like, especially if you're into health, drink all that.
Sorel. And I was like, what, girl? Who? What? Sorel. Their accent. Drink my sorel. My sorel. My sorel is the best sorel. Sorel. I love her.
Yeah.
And shout out to Elisa because she did my hair.
Cute. Looks
from
cute.
my African friend.
Looks real cute.
She's so cool. Thanks.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have. We've been trying to have her on since I started this podcast. Christabel, she's from Ghana, so I'm gonna ask her the same thing. Who do you think is the second best? If it had to be,
I can't wait. Cannot wait.
That's great. Like the Jollof Chronicles and see what's what.
I want to know if there's a way, like, I want to record people. Like, once I'm talking to them, I could press record, boom, and then I could play it back. Like, that's what I want.
You can.
Okay, you have to show me.
I will show you. And then that way you can, you want to talk to your mom or talk to whoever.
And that's what I wanted to do for Dia and Dewana today. But I was like, I don't think you could do that. Damn it.
Yeah, you could. You could record it.
Okay.
You can send them a Zoom and it could be audio only and you could record it.
Save it and send it.
Yeah. Or this is another thing too. They could call you and leave you a message.
Oh,
or
easy.
depending on what kind of phone they have, they do a voice memo. There's a voice memo app that comes with your phone and they could do it on there and send it to you. And that's in the file that I need to add to this.
Bingo. Okay.
And then we could play it. I could play it live so we could hear it. Like you could send it to me and I'll be like, I won't listen to it. And then I could play it live so we get like live reaction so everyone can hear it when we hear it.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Voice memo.
Yeah. I'll send you all that stuff.
All right.
We'll get that stuff done.
Yeah.
Okay, Relly. So we have one more episode. We have next month.
Oh shit. It's the end of the year. This is insane. This is crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's end of the year, and then we have one more. I think hopefully with our schedules, if we can make it happen.
Definitely, I can. Yeah.
And then we'll continue on with, high school timers and see if maybe next I was gonna say next semester, next year,
pretty much.
Next year, I was thinking there's a couple of people I was thinking we'll discuss offline of like as a guest, have it as a guest with us.
Yes.
And talk about, get some other opinions of our history and some stories and stuff.
I love it. And I must add to this before we go. Halloween did pass.
Oh yeah.
It went over well. No fights this year, guys. None. Thank you. Y'all will be proud of me. It was good.
Oh.
I dressed up, but
Tell the people what you've dressed up as. It's super cute.
So my friend, she had a 90s sort of hip hop party, but everyone was 80s. I was looking around like, I mean, if I recall, fluorescent colors weren't really in the 90s.
No, only a little bit. Like TLC had a little bit.
Fading out. It was fading out.
Yeah, I believe it to be true.
Yeah, so the whole party, everyone had fluorescent, and like I was like, and then I walk in with my cute outfit. I had overalls. You know, I was going more for like the UNITY, like that conscious, because that's how we dress. We dress overalls, baggy pants, flower shirts, medallions. I put the little Zulu knots in my head, and
yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And you should have seen, I have to show you my shoe. My shoe, guys, if anyone knows of this, I never knew that shoes can dry rot. Did you know this? So for my costume, I had on black Tims, which I specifically bought for Halloween one year. And I'm talking, I probably had them for about at least 8 years now.
Oh, okay. That's a long time.
And I don't wear them all the time, but I have a lot of shoes.
Yeah.
But so even when I was putting the shoe on, like the back parts of it, I'm pulling the boot up, and like it was kind of crumbling. Just the back part, I'm like, ain't this supposed to be leather? What's going on? So anyway, I wear the shoes the whole night, and this is probably only like my 4th time wearing these shoes because I only really wear them for Halloween. It's cold. It's hot here. It's not cold.
Yeah.
So, get home. I'm like, whew. What a night. Like, I'm tired. Like, let me take these shoes off. You know, at the front door, a little bench. I'm sitting down. And you know how I was being lazy. Usually I unlace my shoe and take it off. But this time, you know, I put the back of my one foot on my other shoe to lift because it's a boot. You know, you need all that. Yo, y'all, this boot busted, like destroyed. All of a sudden, I'm like, what? My foot went through because the whole bottom of the sole came off. I'm like, Timberland, what is going on? So then Amaya, my daughter, she walks in behind me. She's like, oh, your shoe dry rotted. Like, I've seen that happen to other shoes. I never
heard of that before in my life.
She said Jordans. It happens to Jordans a lot. So I know. I said, of all shoes, come on now.
And you pay a lot of money.
What kind of glue are they using?
Timbos they're not cheap?
No. So one shoe was perfectly fine. And the shoe didn't give me any troubles the whole night.
That's crazy.
It's like my foot exploded through the shoe, y'all. It's like, and we will have pictures for this.
Please believe it.
It is comedy. When I say comedy, we were laughing so hard. It's like,
my goodness.
So yeah, I had a good Halloween. It was good. It was really fun. Fun times. So,
no fights.
No fights.
I'll put the link in the show notes to last year's when there was a fight.
And a snake.
Snake, a little bird, a monkey. Wasn't there a monkey?
A monkey, a sloth, a wig. Come on, y'all. It was going down.
Sloth.
It was going down. So yes, I can't wait. So 2 more episodes and it's a wrap for us.
One more episode.
One.
This one?
This is November. Oh my gosh.
This is November. Yeah. And then we just have one more and that's it for the year.
One more Christmas, y'all, and then this is it.
Yeah. Next month it'll be a year until Africa.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. Oh. I cannot wait. Ooh, I'm excited.
All right there. Anything else, Relly?
That's it. This was awesome.
Thank you for getting that stuff from D and Tawana. I love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
Good facts. Good facts. So next time we'll have some audio from whomever. It'll be good. All right.
Or at least see what your mom says. Oh, get audio of your friend talking about the jollof.
Oh, yes. So you can hear her in her accent.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes. All right.
We'll have subtitles too. She's so funny. She's so funny.
Thanks, Valley. Love ya.
Bye. Love y'all.
And now, introducing
the Supernatural Bear Corner.
Supernatural Bear.
Hello, everyone. It is the Supernatural Bear here, and as you can hear, probably, I'm not sure if the intro's been updated yet. Don't ask me. They never tell me anything. Yeah, we updated the intro. We still have the new intro, so Yeah, I have really not much to talk about because it's a relatives episode. But just want to say thank you everyone for listening to the podcast for 2 full-blown years. We're going to be continuing to do some epic stuff, partnerships, and a lot of stuff. We did not Word to Your Mama, but my mom did a partnership, a Web3 partnership with Jarritos, and I had drank Jarritos like a few weeks before that, and was thinking, what do you know? So now expect us to get free Jarritos for life. Jarritos, if you're listening, free, please. But yeah, that's essentially all I have to say. Thank you, Patreon supporters, for supporting. We're going to have some more perks coming soon when we upload these stop motions. And for the patrons, my mom will probably put I've been making the stop motion, and my mom will probably put for patrons maybe level 2 and higher. Yeah, level 2 and higher. The behind the scenes stop motion photos, and then on the YouTube in a little bit, hopefully soon this time, I will have posted my stop motions. Yeah. Thank you guys, and see you guys next time.
Shoobidoos. Yeah. There you have it, folks. That was episode 105 of Word to Your Mama, Relatives 21. I love that that Naisha was able to get those quotes from her sister and her brother, uncle, father, D and Dewana. It puts a smile on my face and warms up my cruel, cold soul. So muchísimas gracias to them. I think we mentioned before the first time D met the SMB, he couldn't remember his name, his real government name that we don't say on here, and it's hilarious. Every time I'm talking about D, he's like, "Who's that?" I go, "Oh, the one that was going," and I imitate him, trying to remember his name. He goes, "Oh yeah." So everything that we mentioned, I'll definitely have in the show notes. This is our second to last episode of 2022. Hopefully we'll be making it for the final episode in Naisha's birthday month. And don't forget, we have the call to actions to the community. I'll be posting that video. If you have any fight stories you want us to read, you can email us, DM us, or if you want to send us some audio, I'll be more than happy to add it to the show so that Naisha and I can listen and hear, the stories and how we've evolved from fighting, hopefully, at this day and age. But yeah, so anyways, muchísimas gracias for all the support for Word to Your Mama and also Relatives. We got a lot of great feedback. You guys really seem to enjoy the Relatives, and hopefully we'll keep it moving. And hopefully, the main purpose of this in the first place was it to be a show, a series. So if there are any Black and brown writers out there that are listening that are interested in, doing a Zoom or breaking bread in person, if that's possible, and seeing if you want to collaborate and work on this, I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there to the world. I already have kind of like a pitch, the rough outline deck of the idea and the vision and the feel and everything. So yeah, I'm serious business about this, guys. That was the whole point of this. I mean, I see it as a unique story, and I always envision it on HBO Max. Maybe HBO Max, or now with the quality of television, maybe like FX. But yeah, let's discuss, man. Let's discuss. Can you imagine these stories that we've mentioned over the past 2 years? And there's so much more that we haven't even touched the tip, gone beyond the tip of the stories, like the revelations, the insights, of our story, first gen Mexican girl and a black girl growing up and navigating the world. The music alone, like it has to, that's why I was like, if it becomes a series and it has to be, it has to have the right budget because the music will make everything. Because we're talking about the 80s, kids, 80s to 90s. It's like music gold. So anyways, I'm putting it out there. If anyone hears this, reach out. Yeah. And, all the ways you can help: Patreon, buy a whiskey, tell your folks, tell your peeps, and tell your friends. And as always, we reap. Word to Your Mama is owned and produced by Ritzy P. Intro beat produced by Nico Beats. If you want to know more, you want to email us, you want to get the media kit, go head over to wordtoyourmama.com. Word to Your Mama is now part of the Latina Podcasters Network. And as always, Word to Your Mama is brought to you by RitzyPeriwinkle.com.